What is going on, guys? Steve with Scotching Things. Got my ride or die with me back there. Phoebe, hey, where'd you go? Yeah, everybody wants to see you because you're cute and I'm ugly. Going to mail a couple things out. Got some stuff to talk about today. First, what am I carrying today? Project X. Probably Hinder's best knife in my opinion, and that doesn't really mean much. It's a great knife. And then of course, if you watched yesterday's video, the Strider Custom XL Yeti. I'm still trying to find out an age range on it. Everybody's guessing. They did a run of these and I've only seen one other. I don't know how many of these are out there. I've only ever seen one of them for other than this one for sale, and that was like a year and a half ago. Maybe it was this one, I don't know. I know there's probably more of them out there, but like this older style with this design, they did a run of like stubs, and they were all in like 204p. I had that stub, sold it to one of you guys. Kind of miss it, but again, that was the one, like, man, I'd rather have this. The stub was nice though, just a really shrunk down version of this. Freaking love these big knives, guys. These XLs are just silly. Like, I'm not gonna take this to work, you guys all know that. It's worth too much money and the tip is too delicate. But as an EDC knife, if you want to spend a buttload of money and have just an awesome knife to carry around and open up packages with, hey, why not that one, right? It's got to put a smile on your face. Oh man, congrats to Dave. If you guys watched his video, he bought some equipment. I was giving him crap already. I'm like, man, now you gotta think of a company name. You gotta start thinking of knife names and designs. And he's like, whoa, pump the brakes. Gotta turn the machines on first. Oh man, and talking to Keith last night. I don't know, guys. He might have to come live with me. I don't think he can get married. I mean, he's gonna sell some, being the nice guy he is, he's gonna sell some of his knives, be responsible. I think he'll just move in with me probably. I'll adopt him. So that way he doesn't have to sell his stuff. All right, I was on Javon's live stream last Friday. I've been on every Friday night with him the last month or whatever. Just a fun time hanging out, talking knives. And I guess there was a big topic last week or two. Metal Complex, Neves, guys talking about knife flippers or whatever. Or there's just been videos, and we talked about it briefly. And I'm used to it because, like, in the Strider world, you always get that. And I've mentioned it before, but I mean, but it's in that with any hype knife, okay? Any, like the Oz Roosevelt is a perfect example. Although those prices are starting to come down, and I think as he makes more and more of those, it won't be so bad. But it's any hype knife, any popular knife, right? Someone buys it. The frag pattern monkey edge knives, the Strider SNGs, perfect example. Guys buy them and they want automatically $500 more for them than they paid for them. But like I said, I'm just kind of used to that in the Strider world, and I can't remember what they were talking about, or if it was just in general, if there was a specific knife. But I get it. It's like that with so knife flippers, basically, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, they buy, so like the Boker, Desert Warrior is a perfect example of that. It's like $100 knife or $150 knife, exclusive through Blade HQ, looks like a donut. Guys will buy them, at least they used to when they come out, and they would jack them up for obscene amounts of money. So basically, like I said, it's someone flipping a knife for profit. And I get it. I don't have to like it or agree with it, but I understand it because it's like that with anything in life, right? Be it sneakers, right? Like Jordans, all right? It's the same thing in like the sneaker world. And Javon was talking about it, and with like, I don't understand this part, I'm not in this world, but like pedals and stuff for guitars, and it could be, look at cars, you know, high-end exotic cars in the last couple of years. It's anything in life, and people's like, it's capitalism, right? Yeah, it is. And I understand it. Like I said, don't have to like it, don't have to agree with it. But, so basically they get on these drops and they use bots, or I don't know, their computer's faster than everybody else's in the world. And they're able to score on these really sought after knives or shoes or whatever it might be. And then they go and resell them. And, you know, it is what it is. You don't have to buy them, right? You don't have to buy the markup on that particular knife or item, whatever it is. But it's there, it exists. You know, like I said, it sucks because, like, if someone really wants a knife, you know, like I've paid the markup. Like I said, I've had 4 Monkey Edge Frag Striders, 3 SNGs, and an SMF. And I've paid the markup on all of them but one. I got it on that drop 2 weeks ago. But that was a markup I was willing to pay. But like I don't know, there's nothing illegal, you know, unless they're cheating the system or whatever, or about it. It's going to be there. And basically what you do is just kind of wait until the knife is, like, say the Rask was one of those knives, right? The prices now are down below, on the secondary, on most of them are down below what retail is. And the Rosie will get there. I don't think Striders will ever get there, just because the fan base and the popularity, and the exclusivity of some of the knives. But it's like people that go to knife shows, right? I was talking to my buddy. There's a guy that runs a group, one of the Facebook groups, and, you know, they go to the knife show and then they buy all these hot knives and then they list them for sale at a markup. Well, you got to think, okay, yeah, that sucks that they did that, but they're also the ones that they spent the money, right, to fly or drive, and then they spent money on hotel and food, so they've got some skin in the game, right? So, you know, it's just, it is what it is, really. What gets me is, I'm going to tell you a story. What gets me is it's not so much that, because you get that, right, with any, it was with the Evo, it was with any hype knife, the J-Cape, any of these hype knives, there's going to be that, because there's a limited quantity and the demand is there for the knife. The demand is greater than the quantity. There was an individual I do a lot of my buying and selling in the Facebook groups, and there was an individual who was well known, and always beating people up on prices. And this is adjacent to this, but not really. It's not really, this is just what bugs me, is in the Facebook groups, there's these people that, you know, he had kind of started a business, and I had done lots of deals with him from like 2 years ago. And he had gotten bigger and bigger, and he would kind of focus in on one group and buy and sell there for a long time. And he would, you know, he would just beat you up on price, and then you'd see that same knife because you thought he was an enthusiast, and he was just doing it to flip them. And he would, you know, beat you up on price, get you down to where he wanted you, and you didn't have to. I did that with one knife with him, but eventually he had gotten a bad enough reputation in the groups with that and some other stuff that he was kind of ousted, and he's pretty much gone now. He tried changing his name, and people were just kind of sick of that. I think that's almost more egregious than the flippers. With the flippers, I wish they would just be honest. and just be like, yeah, some guys are like, hey man, I won. One guy was with Oz. Oz just released pens, right? The Little Jack, or I don't know, whatever they're called, Little John. And one guy was like, hey, yeah, I got this on a lottery, but I'm marking it up $200 because that's what the market is. I don't care about the flippers, just be honest. I'm tired of these freaking, it's always these woe is me stories. I bought this and it doesn't fit my hand, and I get that, but it's always the same story. Or I bought this and my dog right there, you know, needs its tonsils out, or my so-and-so, or my truck, or my, and I've talked about this before. If you're that kind of financially, you're walking that kind of financial line where one thing, like a dog vet emergency or a crashed vehicle emergency, could send you into a tailspin financially, then you shouldn't be buying that knife in the first place, right? It's just a woe is me story, so they don't get beat up in the groups. Just be honest, or don't say anything. You don't have to say anything, but it's always like, oh, it doesn't fit my hand, or it's not this or that. One guy got tore apart in the Strider groups, or in some other, for one of the on that last OD S&G drop, because it was just this lame excuse. And I see it in the Strider groups all the time. There's a drop, like on the last Monkey Edge and then the last SMF. Don't just list it for sale. Put your markup on it and don't say anything. And people are okay with that. It's when you give them this BS woe is me story, or I've got something happen and I have to sell. So there's that. And then so I'm just all over the place. Okay, guys, this is Squirrel. And this just recently happened to me, and it ties into that last kind of story about they're not scammers, they're just people who are just sucky people, right? Like the last guy that always beat people up on prices. I just recently sold a knife. It's just, be honest, okay? So I'd got that Shiro F95, which now I regret selling, and I'll probably buy another one. But I had gotten that last year from Beck, and Beck gave me the Homeboy hookup on it, right? Didn't pay full retail for it. And then finally I just recently listed it and sold it because I hadn't carried it in a while, and now it's gone. I miss it. But anyway, so I listed it for sale, and knowing that I had gotten a good deal on it, and this is just me. This is a me problem, right? Knowing not everyone's like this, knowing that I got a deal on it, knowing that I had carried it, I marked it, I sold it, I marked it for sale for a pretty good discount. And the guy that I have done previous deals with hits me up and he's like, hey man, I'm really interested in, you know, the F95. Can I get some pictures? Send it to him. He's like, do you want trades? I'm like, no, I'm more looking to sell. He's like, how about this price? I'm like, bro, dude, look, man, this is, you know, $1,000 knife, a $900 and some knife. I've got it listed for substantially below that. I had it listed for $750. And he was like, I can do this. And then he comes back a couple days later with, you know, I just had a kid and I felt bad. So I gave it to him. I sold it to him for like $6 something. Because I just wanted it. I was looking to move stuff. I'm looking to declutter, but then I go and buy more stuff. So I gave him a screaming deal on it. He gets it. And immediately he got it in the mail yesterday, and he listed it for $900 in the Shergorov group. I was pissed. I was pissed. It was stupid. And he can do what he wants with that knife, right? Like, I bought it, I sold it to him. It's his property now. But I was pissed more at myself for being a sucker. I was a sucker, and he gave me this woe is me story and blah blah blah, and I hooked him up and he flipped it, man. That's the kind of guy I don't like. Don't be like that guy. I should almost call him out on Instagram, because he's on Instagram too. I should just blow this dude up, but I hit him up with a message. I hit him up in a private I just was like, bro, man, really? $900? And he just gave me this emoji back. Bullshit. I mean, fuck off, dude. I'll never do business with him again. I blocked him. If you want to know his name, I mean, fuck him, dude. Fuck him. because that's just scuzzy. But that's a me thing, because I'm the one that chose to play into his woe is me story. But you have to be, I think you have to be cognizant of that. You have to be, you know, it wasn't a scam. It was just, he got me, man. He knew what he was doing, and he got me, and I fell for it. And but now I know better, and fuck him. And people like that suck, man. People like that just suck. So, and I didn't blow him up in the group. I asked my buddy, I'm like, man, I want to blow this dude up, but I don't like starting the drama, because guess what? He's like that other guy I was talking about, that Facebook reseller. He'll eventually do it to himself. I don't have to say a goddamn thing, and he'll do it to enough people to where eventually someone will say something. You know, should I warn other people? I don't know. It goes both ways. I'll let him burn his own bridges. Let's just say that. I'll just let him burn his own bridges. So this is kind of a ramble all over, kind of about the knife flippers and kind of not. Just kind of whatever. Knife flippers, are they out there? Yeah. Can you get mad at them? Yeah, but why? I mean, it's like that, like I said, in any hobby or anything that you're into, be it knives, shoes, pew-pews. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is. Cars, baseball cards, whatever. There's something you want and someone else has it, and that's in enough demand, they're going to get a price that they want for it. It's just what it is, guys. You're not going to get rid of it. So you don't have to like it. You don't have to play the game. You don't have to pay those prices. And that's what I try not to do, unless in the Strider world. Because there I'm willing to pay for stuff. So that being said, if you've made it this far, 17 minutes in, you know a knife I really want to try out? Trizula, the Eagle Rock. I really like that. And the CKF Eagle Rock is out now. And I have been real tempted to get one of those. Just, I mean, you know, just to see if it's a knife I'd like. And that's an entry point in the CKF, where it's still an expensive knife, but in the secondary they're not super expensive, to see if I'd actually like a custom one. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Let me know what you think. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.